much. Thank you.
Hello, dear. Okay, I see two names. I was guessing I can go with one or the other or both. What do you prefer to be called?
Sorry?
What's your name?
Olivia.
Olivia. Nice to meet you, dear.
Nice to meet you
Mine's Biniam. Welcome to your Friday morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think it's Friday.
Yes, indeed. I agree. That day that most of us look forward to is we're free from work. Not for everyone, mind you, but for most, right?
Yeah.
Olivia, just a quick update here before we get too far. I do an unusual event to my Uber where I like to live stream, so I wanted you to have a heads up so you don't share things that you're like, oh, I don't want. Yes. And if you're starting at this time here, you get off at a decent time too for a weekend, right?
Sorry?
If you start at this time, you must get off at a decent time for the weekend.
I don't.
Oh, shucks, Rooney.
Actually, I'll finish it later. It's a company event.
Oh, I
That's
see.
why,
A longer day today?
it's a longer day today.
Ah.
Hence, I have an Uber ride.
I see, I see. There's practicality mixed into your plans.
Yeah.
Is it like your work Christmas party today too?
Well, it's not really a Christmas party. It's more a summit. So,
Oh, I see.
end of year review. What worked well. And
Oh my.
strategy for next year.
This is a significant day then.
It is, yes. So,
How long have you been planning for it?
well, me personally, I'm just attending.
Okay,
But
but it's been on the radar for some time.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of weeks.
Okay, I see.
We did not get the Christmas party, so
You guys did not get a Christmas party?
no.
Oh no. I think it was about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. I picked someone up, Olivia, and they were on their way home from a Christmas party. And this is in early November, and I said, it's too early, it feels, for a Christmas party. But I guess companies have to grab the chance when they get it, if they're going to have it, right?
Well, it gets pretty booked.
Yeah, I imagine it would.
My previous job, we would have our Christmas party late December.
Okay.
Like December 20th.
Whoa, that's like so close.
Right
Before.
Christmas.
No kidding. When everything else is going on.
But it's very hard to find a spot. I would say mid-November to mid-December.
It's almost like you have to plan it in advance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like Stampede.
Ah,
Stampede also gets pretty booked.
so true, so true. I was actually surprised to hear that when the Stampede comes around, there's almost like no vacancy anywhere, not only in the city, but even in surrounding areas. I was so blown away that that's how far the radius goes by way of the necessity for people trying to find accommodation.
Yes, and some people don't even come for Stampede. For example, my husband, they moved to Calgary during the Stampede week.
Okay.
So when they came,
yeah.
they couldn't find any hotels or anything.
And it was nothing related to Stampede at all.
Exactly.
It was just luck of the draw in this time of
They
year.
had to stay in Cochrane.
Oh wow. That's the only place they found.
Yes.
Which is a good, I don't know, maybe it's 35, 40, 50 minute
Yes.
drive, right? Oh my goodness. So your husband doesn't live here?
He lives here,
Now.
but he moved a while back.
I see, I see. Once upon a time, basically.
Like most of us.
Yeah. I do note a slight accent, but I can't place it. I almost want to say Spanish, but I'm not sure.
No.
Oh, okay.
My last name is Spanish, but I am Moldovan.
Moldovan?
Yes.
That was my second guess. Okay, how often do you meet Moldovians in this part of the world? Like, never, right?
I would say for somebody that is not Moldovan,
Yes.
it's pretty rare.
Yeah, but you have met some.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, there's many.
There are, eh?
Yes.
Can you tell a Moldovan just by looking? Or no? I mean, like my ethnicity, I've learned to recognize the distinctive features. Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily if it's exactly Moldova, but you know, Ukrainians, Romanians, Russian. Well, I would say half of Russians,
Okay.
Bulgarians.
Yeah.
They have very common features.
Okay.
So you would be able to pinpoint that they're from that area.
I see.
And then accent helps
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
because the Romanians would have a slight different accent, Russians would have a different accent, Bulgarians would have a different accent. And then
Ukraine is also in that area, I'm guessing.
yes.
Yes. And would they have a different accent as well, even though they speak Russian? Or would that kind of be almost similar?
It's pretty similar.
It
I
is,
would
right?
say.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes, and then from there, based on name, you'd also figure, I guess you'd know who comes from where you are.
Yeah.
I think people have some sort of DNA detector as well.
I see. Little
So
clues or
yes,
crumbs.
it's pretty easy
Yeah.
to find out
Yeah.
or to guess if somebody's from that area.
Right. Yeah.
If you are from that area,
Yeah.
even if you're not.
Yeah.
But most of the time I get confused that I'm Russian.
Okay.
So people ask me if I am Russian.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because the country is so big, so it takes up spotlight from all the tiny
Areas
countries.
surrounding. Yeah. Interesting. So, how long has Canada been home for you?
About 11, yeah, 11 years.
11 years now. So, some time now then.
Yes.
Do you feel you've changed significantly since you've moved here?
Yes.
I mean, what would you say are like the biggest changes in Olivia pre-moving here and and now?
I would say I moved when I was 16.
Oh goodness.
So
Okay.
that's the age when you change regardless.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, that's when you hit all those, you start to think of the future.
Yeah.
You start to think what school do you want to go to. You
Yeah.
start to have, to get in those
Long-term
group of
planning.
friends.
Yeah.
You start to decide what you want to do with your life.
Sure.
So I did change.
Yeah.
I do think Canada had an impact on how I've changed.
Because you came here during your teen years, so there's like almost a double whammy from like hormonal changes in midst of adolescence to cultural shifts as well.
Yes. I would say the maturity,
Yeah.
really, because before I moved, I was used to my mom taking care of everything. You know, the classic booking an appointment, taking me to the doctor and whatnot.
Yep.
And then I moved here, and overnight, my mom cannot speak anymore because she doesn't speak English.
Oh, I see.
So it was a shift.
Yeah.
In a way, we're swapped.
Yeah.
Because before my mom was taking me for appointments, but now I was taking my mom for appointments.
Intriguing. So she became the dependence.
She became, yeah.
In essence, right? Which is not a
Yes.
comfortable feeling,
Yes.
especially for one who's been independent. So that must have been a huge.
Yes, that was a big change, and the responsibility came with it.
Yeah.
Because it was not just me translating, but it started to be me deciding.
Yeah.
Because my mom would be, well, whatever you think is gonna be best,
Yeah.
take that choice.
Right.
So now I got used to it, but
Yeah.
back then
Yeah.
I remember I was very anxious about it.
Right.
Because I was worried that if I make a wrong decision
Yeah.
that was in a way assigned to me,
Yeah.
it's basically going to be my fault.
Right.
So
I can see that.
I would say probably the biggest thing that changed
Yeah.
was my maturity level, and
Yeah.
that made me mature pretty much overnight. And not only deciding about my parents, but it was about me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I switched to a completely different school system
Yep.
that I didn't know anything about. There's
Yeah.
lots of pick and choose in this system here, and
Yeah.
if you make a wrong choice
Yeah.
because you don't
help explain
walk
or
me through those
Sure, yeah.
choices. My parents didn't know anything.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't know how to help me.
Wow.
So it was all up to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's significant. So, how did you meet your husband if you came here as a team?
Or did I meet my husband?
Yeah.
Oh, I met him way later.
Oh, you did? Because I was thinking, like, when the way you told the story earlier, he wasn't like he came here when it sounded like he came here on his own and had to find accommodations in the beginning.
No, he also came with his family.
Oh,
but,
he did. Okay, there we are.
Actually, about the same time as me.
Okay.
Except that we only met about 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yes.
Oh, amazing! Oh my goodness.
So in 2 years, we started dating, got engaged, and got married.
Amazing. Wow. And you're both from similar cultures?
No, he's Hispanic.
Okay.
This is why I have a different last name.
I see.
And yeah, I am from Europe, so very different cultures.
No kidding. That's okay. And then in the 2 years span of time, through those shifts of like dating, engagement, marriage now, I imagine you've also had to calibrate with each other culturally too, because you have different ways of experiencing life.
Well, I would say you do have to calibrate regardless, even
Sure.
if you're from the same culture, because the family culture plays
Yeah.
a big role.
Right.
And family culture may or may not be the same even within the same culture.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say the biggest calibration with it was between our family cultures rather than
Okay.
nationality, really,
Okay.
or place of origin.
Yeah, it was the familial
But yes,
setting.
it's I would say before you get in relationships,
Yeah.
you are in a bubble and you think that the way you do things in your family,
This is how
everybody's
everyone.
doing
I
it
know.
the same. And then you find it strange, like, oh, your family's not doing this? What are you talking about? And then you start to get a different perspective, and
Yeah.
some things you have to compromise, some things you have to adopt.
Yeah.
Some things will be adopted by
Yeah.
the other party, but
Yeah.
I would say in any relationship, even if there were two Moldovans, and let's say my parents, there are two Moldovans,
Mm-hmm.
and even in their relationship, my mom comes from a different type of family, and my dad comes from a different type of family, and there was a lot of calibration really that I saw between my parents.
Yeah.
So I would say it happens regardless, even if it's the same culture.
Intrigue. I never would have guessed any of this about you. I feel I know you so much better. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I only left 3 minutes in the ride. I've been learning so much about you. I'm learning with my friends who are like, Benny, we always ask great questions, but you never like let people ask you questions, so you have to let them. So let me practice what my friends compel me to practice. Do you have any curiosities about me? What you would love to know?
I would say, tell me the 3 things that you're the most proud of yourself, or 3 things that make you the most proud of yourself.
I like that question. Okay, so number 1 in my list would probably be my commitment to living with integrity now. Where for decades, I mean, I wanted to, but I did not know how to, and I fumbled, and yeah, I had a lot of growing up to do. But now in this season of life I'm in, I'm really grateful that I have a far better acquaintance with and familiarity with what integrity means to me and how I want to live with it. Secondly, courage. Again, courage kind of feeding integrity to actually be able to show up in this world in a way that feels true to me, in the way I want to communicate and lay my stakes and so on. And then thirdly, I would say I'm still grateful that I have like a kid-like spirit internally. So that zone of playfulness and silliness and goofiness is alive and well. And I really appreciate that as an adult, that I have access in the midst of life being serious and all the things. I just often on a daily get to experience that element of playfulness, and I'm so grateful for that.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
If I could just ask you,
Yes, dear.
so I put the address as the school.
Yep.
I need the parking lot of
I'm-
that school. If you'd be able to just
I'll follow your directions. I'll make sure I save you all the steps possible.
thank you.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure, dear.
I've never been to this area.
To this location? Okay, so you're looking for a specific zone.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They just said so.
Yeah.
Basically, we're taking all employees a bus.
Okay.
Um,
And you're meeting at this
and
place.
we're meeting in the parking lot of this school.
Cool. Yeah, I'm more than happy to accommodate that, especially for a big school like this. You don't want to walk all the way around unnecessarily. Yeah, let's make sure we. I see a bus over there. It looks like you're busing.
Okay.
Could that be it?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I see the parking lot, so if you just drop me off here, that should be.
Let me save you a couple more steps. I'll bring you right over this way here, so you don't have to walk too far. Olivia, I'm so glad I met you today, and I love your story.
Thank you so much.
The pleasure is mine. Hope
Have
your
a
day
good
is
one.
friendly.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, darling. She's a delight, isn't she? Oh my goodness, yeah, I very much appreciated her keen insights. My goodness, she seems young, and I mean, she is young. 26 is for me very young, and yeah, wow, yeah, she's got a good head on her shoulders, if I can speak like an aged sage. Friends, I've got about 6 minutes till the next one, and it's going to be another 20-minute ride. So let me just jump off the live stream on this one here, and I'll see you on the next live stream in about 5 minutes. Okay, bye.